Good evening, Unique Couples community. How's everybody doing? I am Vito Patrick, one half of Vito and Linda Patrick of Unique Couples. We are here live in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and we have special guests in the house this evening. We have Dr. Kevin Wilbon, who is in Washington, D.C. He'll be introduced a little bit later, but I want to welcome you here to another Unique Couples Sunday Night Live. So you want to go ahead and share. You also want to subscribe to the Unique Couples YouTube channel. And you want to make sure you turn on that notification bell. So every time Unique Couples go live, you can be notified. So if you haven't subscribed to the Unique Couples YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to the Unique Couples YouTube channel. We're going to be in for a great time this evening. We're going to be talking about 10 things you should have known before marriage. 10 things you should have known before marriage. So we're going to be in for a great time as we talk here this evening. Also, you want to make sure as you come on in, you want to make sure hashtag live squad. Let us know where you're watching from. Those of you that will be watching the replay, hashtag replay. So come on in. Let us know where you are watching from. We want to thank our sponsors for making this program possible this evening. We want to thank Shadra at Style Me Pretty. You can contact her at 242-441-7977, where you can get all of your little girls' hair done. So we want to thank Shadra at Style Me Pretty. Then we want to thank Doris at Hair to Please. You can contact Doris at 242-351-1962. You can get all of your weave, all of your frontals, everything that you ladies need for your hair. You can contact Doris at Hair to Please. And then for all of your manicure and pedicure, you want to contact Anna at the Nail Lab Creation, 242-439-0523. You want to contact Anna at the Nail Lab Creation for that manicure and that pedicure. So we just want to thank our sponsors for the program this evening. And also, you want to make sure that you are a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Yes, you want to be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Motivation, inspiration, and transformation exclusively in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. So the link is in the description. So you want to make sure you click the link in the description and find out more on how you can be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. And we have events going on in the Marriage Club daily. So this week coming up in the Unique Couples Marriage Club, we have how to not kill your sex life. How to not kill your sex life. And this is going to be 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. And it's going to be a short 10-minute conversation, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. How to not kill your sex life. So you want to make sure you are tuned in for that this week I'm talking about. And you want to be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club because the month of October, we call it Sextober. Sex is everything in the month of October. So you want to make sure you are part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club so you can find out more information. So like I said, we have special guests in the house this evening, Dr. Kevin Wilbon. And Dr. Kevin, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on, man. It's a blessing. I appreciate you asking me, to come out and, and be a guest speaker. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great here in the Bahamas, and it's a privilege. It's a pleasure to have you on this evening, and we're going to be in for a fun time this evening.
Most definitely. I appreciate that. Thank you. I wish I was there where you were at right now.
No problem. We are open up. The country is open up. There are no more travel restrictions due to the COVID. So when you're ready, you can go ahead and come on down, and we'll be privileged to host you here. Sun, sea, and sand. We have all of that here in the Bahamas.
That'll work. I'm going to take you up on that too.
Okay. So can you go ahead and tell our viewing audience a little about Dr. Kevin Wilbon before we dive into our topic this evening?
Oh, okay. First of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and I'd like to thank my spiritual leader, Dr. C. Anthony Muse, pastor. He's a bishop over at Ark of Safety, and the First Lady, Pat Lawson Muse. And, a little bit about me, I'm Dr. Kevin Wilbon Sr., born and raised in D.C. I have my doctorate in the educational field with educational leadership. Just a little bit about me. I'm all about education. I'm a coach. I'm also a 24-year military veteran. So I've dipped in the different facets of life, and that's about it. That's it for me.
Okay, awesome. And our YouTube, our Unique Couples community, we're going to be talking about 10 things you should have known before marriage, and we're going to get straight into the conversation. So go ahead, Dr. Wilbon, give us number one, the 10 things you should have known before marriage.
Well, I think the importance of marriage is that, my first thing would be, you got to be friends first. And, know your mate, be friends first, get to know them, know the different things that, you both, bring into the table. And at the same time, you want to like that person. It's one thing to love someone, but you want to make sure you like them too. And in being friends, that's a great thing, because when you're friends, you can share things, you can talk about things, you can do things. And that's a great way to go into a marriage, being friends first. And that's my first thing. What do you think about that?
Yes, that's very important. You want to be friends, because we know that you're going to be married to this person, and you definitely want to be friends, and you want to be able to talk to them about everything. Exactly. You want to have that communication, which is important. So it's important that you are friends. So that's a great start to it. That's very important. You want to be friends, because that means this person you're with, you can talk to them, you can, do everything with them. So that's very important. That's a great start.
And you're possibly going to end up being with them forever, and that's a possibility. So you have to be friends first. That was my first thing. My second thing is, don't fall in love with looks. Don't fall in love with the looks, because looks can go, but it's that inner person that's going to still be around. So not saying that your mate is going to start looking terrible or anything, but everybody changes. You get older and you change, and as far as your looks. So don't fall in love with the looks, because it's that inner person that you married. Looks can change, but that feeling that you have inside for each other, should remain. You still should have that fire that should remain. So don't fall in love with looks, because you know how it is. First thing you do when you go out there, you see a fine woman, you be like, oh my gosh, she look good. But my mother always told me, what looks good don't also mean that it's going to be good.
So tell me about the saying, beauty is in the inside and not the outside.
Man, beauty is only skin deep, because you ain't going to really get to see the beauty on the inside. You can see it on the outside, but if that person beautiful on the outside but have a bad disposition on the inside, you're going to be in for it. So you want to make sure you don't fall in love with those looks. Make sure that person have a beautiful heart. If that heart is beautiful, she's going to be beautiful all the way around. Of course, like I said, first thing of attraction is when you see somebody. That's the first thing you're going to be attracted to, the way they look.
Yes.
So you got to get to love them inside, just as much as you do outside. So don't fall in love with the looks. And the reason why I am saying this, because I did that. I look at them and I'm like, hey, I don't care what nobody say. I want a woman I want to be able to look at all day and all night. When she wake up, I still want to be able to look at her.
Yeah.
You know what though? That woman could be, a trip. She could be something else. So I mean, the looks, after a while, the looks to go out that door. You want to worry about how she's going to treat you, from the inside, from the heart.
So
don't fall in love with the looks. That's my second thing.
All right. So unique couples community, we're coming out strong. We're coming out strong. So number one, you want to make sure you are friends. Number two, you want to make sure you look for that, that inner beauty. Don't worry about the outside. Looks can change because like Dr. Wilbon mentioned, and I'm talking to you men out there, you look for the fine lady, and then you get married after a few kids, things can change. So you also have to be careful of that. So you want to make sure you look at that inner beauty and not the outer beauty. And then when things do happen, when the family comes together, you want to make sure that you continue to be friends. You continue to have that communication. You continue to work together. That's very important.
That's right. That's exactly right. And my third thing is, know your mate's family. And the reason why I say that, because you can tell by the way their family act when you're around their family, what you're going to be getting into when you get married. Because you may be, have a beautiful woman, you may have a smart woman or whatever, but then when you get around her family, they could be like hell on wheels. And you don't want to be in that type of environment. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some family members, they nosy, they want to get in your business, and just know your mate's family. Get to know them so they can get to know you. And when you get to know them, you'll know what kind of surroundings that you will be in once you get married to that woman that you have. So I think it's important to know your mate's family, not just the mother and the father, but we're talking about the uncles, the nieces, the nephews, and stuff like that. Because once you get married, you're going to probably see them a lot, especially when y'all have little, invites or get-togethers and stuff like that. You still.
Yes. So you want to make sure that you know your spouse's family. That's important. And in the unique couples community, we don't say mother-in-law or father-in-law. We say in love. So your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, you want to make sure you know them, because that's very important. And that's a lot of excellent points you would have mentioned there just now. We want to say hello to Gia, hello to Julie, hello to Kathy, hello to Lion Eagle. Welcome. All right. Okay, Dr. Wilbon, that was number 3. Let's go ahead with number 4.
All right, we're going to go to number 4, and just know this. Before you get married, just know you're going to have to work hard. Marriage is like a farm. What you put into it is what you get out of it. If you don't plant seeds, you're not going to get a harvest. So if you don't, put the effort, the time into that marriage to make it work, then it's not going to work. So just know that when you get into a marriage, it's almost like a business. You got to work at it. In order for us to survive, you both have to work at it and go strong and go hard. So just know that when you get into this, of course, everybody thinks, okay, yeah, I'm married now, everything is going to be great. Things going to change. Things are going to be difficult at times. But just know that it's like a farm. You have to work hard on it in order to, blossom your marriage and get what you put into it. You put into something, you get out of something. You put into nothing, you get nothing. So that's another point that I have.
Thank you, Dr. Wilbon. And the reason I'm excited, because folks, you heard it, and me and him didn't rehearse this. I didn't know number 4 was going to be work, and that leads me into what I'm going to tell you, folks. You have to be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Like I said earlier, motivation, inspiration, and transformation. Once you're a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club, you will get that. And just like how Dr. Wilbon talked about work, yes, when you get married, you have to put in the work. And let's look at your job. On your job, you have refresher courses, you have professional development courses, you have all of these things at your job that keeps you up to date with the different technology in terms of whatever field you are working in. And marriage, you also have to keep up with the times in marriage. So you have to continuously put in the work every day in your marriage. That's why we say in the Unique Couples Marriage Club, we want to see marriages thrive. So go in the description, click on that link so you can be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. I love that one, Coach Wilbon. Okay. Number 4, work. You have to put that work in the marriage. And that's very important. You put in that work every day. That's very important.
And actually, that could be the first thing out of everything that we just talked about. That could be actually the bullet number 1. Know that you're going to have to work, because it's not going to be easy. Nothing is easy.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So for my 5th one, although you're going to be, emotionally attached to each other or whatever, just know that a relationship is a commitment. And it is a commitment. It is something that you got to be committed to. It's not something that you're going to say one day, okay, I'm going to do this, and the next day say I'm not. If you're not going to be totally and 100% committed into what you're going to, what you're going to do for that marriage, then it's not going to work. Although you can have those emotions, I love you and you love me and everything is beautiful or whatever, you can't the next day get up and say, you know what, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. So once you get, you take those vows and you get into that marriage, just know it's going to be a commitment. So just know that, just like if you go out, you're an NBA player or NFL player or whatever, you're committed to your craft, because this is something that you want, to build and make sure that you get better at. You want to be sharper at that. That's the same with marriage. You got to make sure that your craft in your marriage is sharp. So you got to be committed to it and stay with it. And the more you do that, the better your marriage will be.
Yes. And for those who would have saw the bio we would have promoted on Coach Dr. Kevin Wilbon Sr., he is a coach, and he has also helped persons to reach to the NBA and the NFL. So here it is. He is talking and telling us that professionals, they have to be committed to that sport. They have to be committed to the skill that they want to pursue. And Dr. Wilbon is telling us, Unique Couples community, that you have to be committed in your marriage. That's important. Commitment is important. Just like how he mentioned in number 4, you have to put in the work. In number 5, he is talking about commitment. So you're hearing it here today, that 10 things you should have known before marriage. And number 5 is talking about commitment, which is very important. You have to be committed. And let's just talk a little more about commitment, Dr. Wilbon. So how often or how frequent should you be committed in your marriage?
You should be 100% totally committed in your marriage. And my thing is this, just like you said in refresher courses and stuff like that, a lot of times you will probably have to sit down with your mate, take a day out of the week, pick a day out of the week and have that day where you can sit there and talk about how you think things are going. And then, let her say what she's going to have to say. And then you say what you have to say and see if, everything is jiving, everything is meshing together. And whatever things if it's a kink in it, you can work that out. You can talk about it. So my thing is, in order to keep that commitment fulfilled, you have to, you be able to talk to each other. Communication is the key. If you don't have that communication, then it's not going to work. So being committed into something means that you have to stay on it. You can't, veer away from it. It's not a day that you can take off. In marriage, you can't take off. Marriage is like a job. But the difference is, with a job, you can get leave days and you can take off. But you can't take off in marriage, because once you get off of that job, you're going back home to your wife or you're going back home to your husband. So that's a 24-hour, 365, 7-day a week, commitment. So that commitment has to be 100% committed.
All right. Awesome. Commitment, folks. There you hear it. Number 5 was commitment. So this evening, we have Dr. Kevin Wilbon here on our Sunday Night Live, and we want to thank Dr. Kevin Wilbon for being here. For those of you who haven't subscribed to the Unique Couples YouTube channel, you want to go ahead and subscribe to the Unique Couples YouTube channel. Make sure you turn on that notification bell and make sure you select all, so you can know every time we go live here at Unique Couples. Also, we're going to be right back. So I want you to just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
At Wrights Enterprise, our slogan is Dreams on Wheels. Let us customize a trailer to accommodate your business's needs. From clothing and apparel, shoes and accessories, to hair and nails, we are the perfect choice for your mobile business. Contact 646-8464 for more info and follow us on IG at Wrights_Enterprise242.
Welcome back to Unique Couples Sunday Night Live. We have special guest Dr. Kevin Wilbon in the house today, and we are talking about 10 things you should have known before marriage. We've already gone through the first 5. We're going to be now going through the last 5. And as you would have seen in the video just now, you want to contact us for our one-on-one marriage coaching. You want to book us today, 242-441-3324. So go ahead and book us for your one-on-one marriage coaching. And you can go ahead. You'll also be able to get a free 15-minute consultation. So go ahead and book us. Look in the link and make sure you look in the link. Look in the description and select the link so you can contact us. So Dr. Wilbon, let's go ahead and go through those last 6 through 10 as we're talking about 10 things you should have known before marriage. Number 6.
All right, number 6. Before you get married, you should talk about your goals financially, what you both are planning on doing. And not only just your goals financially, but your goals in life. Okay, where are you heading? Where both of you want to do, and as far as what y'all trying to do and what y'all trying to achieve financially and what you're going to do with that. Let's just say, for instance, you're going to have kids. Okay, you want to be able to know how to save, how to make sure that you're going to get your kids through college, how you're going to do that, set aside money, and make sure you budget correctly. So you definitely need to talk about your goals financially and what you're trying to do, because you both could be career business people. And my thing is, when you have that type, 2 people that strong, those 2 strong people together, that's money coming in. So you want to know what you're going to be doing financially, and you want to make sure that you budget to the point that if you are going to have kids or whatever, that you'll be able to take, care of them in a great way, and to make sure you see them through college, if that's something that, that's going to be, in their future. So, number 6, talk about your goals and, financially and for your life.
Okay. Number 6 was talking about goals and financial. That's very, very important. And we know money plays a big role in marriage. And like you mentioned, you have to talk about it. And Coach, how often should you sit down and talk about the finances in terms of the budget?
Well, as far as the budget, first of all, in a marriage, it's always someone that want to step up and handle the bills. You know what I'm saying? Someone may do that, or you could be doing it together. But,
Okay.
And from in my perspective, a lot of times, you have that one person that handle the bills while you have the other person, handle the other things, that's going on in the household. So if you're doing that, I would say, quarterly, you got, 12 months out the year. I would say, every 3 months, sit down, see where you're at, see what you got, especially if you're, doing the joint, bank account stuff or whatever. You still want to make sure everything is good. And, not saying that you're not trusting your mate or anything like that, but you want to know what's coming in. You want to know what's going out. And you want to also make sure that you're on the right path, especially if you're trying to save for the future. So I would say quarterly, sit down and, go through, what you're bringing in as far as both of you and the whole 9 yards. I think that's a very important thing.
Okay, awesome. There you have it, folks. Number 6, talking about goals, and we're talking about finances. So that's important. Money plays a big role in marriage. So go ahead with number 7, Dr. Wilbon.
And with number 7, this is almost something that's piggyback riding off of what I just said. Observe your mate's spending habits and start saving for the future. And that's together. That's not two separate things. That's all together. Observe your mate's spending habits and start saving for the future, because you want to know what you're getting into before you get married. If you got a mate that, that's gambling, or a mate, or every time you turn around, they just want to spend money, that's something that needs to be addressed and something that needs to be looked at. Because if they're doing that before they go into the marriage, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be doing it when they get into that marriage. So, and that's something that you may not be able to change. So observe your mate's spending habits and to make sure you both start saving for the future. So that's very, very important. And that's a part of what we just talked about, as far as, talk about your goals financially, and your life. But just make sure that you both are on the same sheet of music and you're knowing what you're getting into when you marry, your spouse or whatever, because, a lot of times, things like that come up later on down the road. You may not know that they're a gambler. You never know what they're doing with their money. So that's something that's very, very important. Observe your mate's spending habits, and that's either man or woman.
Yes, that's important, and nothing's wrong with observing your mate's spending habit, because you would have someone who is a spender and someone who is a saver. So it's important that both of you know exactly who is the spender, who is the saver, and then you can work from there. And also, I want to mention again, you want to be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club, because in the Marriage Club, we have a financial coach in the Marriage Club, Nathaniel Butler from Druba Solutions. He can assist you with all of your financial needs. We have the financial experts. So, you can find the financial expert right here in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. So if you need that help with setting your budget, with your finances, you want to be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. And Dr. Kevin Wilbon, he just mentioned number 6, talking about goal with finances. And then he talked about number 7, observing your mate's spending habit. That's important. So we have number 8.
All right, we got number 8. Okay, number 8 is, and this is something that's very, very important. And a lot of people do this and it messes up things. Don't compare your marriage to other people's marriages. Don't do that.
Oh, that's a big one.
That's a big one, because a lot of people do that. Well, look at how they do this. Look at how they do that. You are different. Your marriage is different from everybody. Everybody's marriage is not the same. And you're not going to be able to try to keep up with what everybody else is doing, because everybody has problems. You may not know that, you may not see that, and they may not bring that out, but you're going to have problems. So, just because you got a rocky patch and you see somebody else, smiling, and you think that their marriage is, hunky dory, that does not mean that that's true. So don't base your marriage off of somebody else's. Make your marriage great. You two get together and make your marriage great. That's one thing that I've seen that a whole lot, and I've heard that a whole lot. But look at what they're doing. I wonder what they're doing to do this. I wonder what they're doing to do that. Communicate. Things are not going to be great at all times, but don't compare your marriage to everybody else's, because when you start doing that, you're going to start having problems.
Yes, and one of the reasons why my wife Linda and we came up with the name Unique Couples, because no two couples are the same. All couples, every couple is unique in their own way. And that's why you have there at number 8. Don't compare your marriage to another couple's marriage. So you shouldn't do that. You don't want to compare. Like you said, you want to make sure that you communicate in your marriage. You put in the work in your marriage, just like you're saying. I want to say hello to Henrietta. Hello to Jackie. Hello to Claudine. we have a question in the chat, Dr. Wilbon.
Okay.
So the question is, should couples have separate bank accounts?
Absolutely. I think they should. I think they should have a joint and they should have a separate bank account as well. I don't think they should just have a separate bank account and not have a joint. I think they should be able, to do that because, I was always told, by my dad, and this may not register, for everybody else, it's always good to have another bank account and to put money away, for both people or whatever, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. I think it should be a joint account for bills, your mortgage, and everything that needs to be done. And, as far as maintenance and stuff like that. But I don't see nothing wrong with having separate bank accounts other than, the joint account that you have.
Okay, thank you for that. And just to add on to that question, so earlier you would have mentioned that you should meet once a quarter to talk about your finances. So when you meet as a couple, do you talk about those separate bank accounts as well? Because your spouse should know about that separate bank account, right? It shouldn't be a secret.
Yeah. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be a secret. And my thing is this: a lot of times when you go into a marriage, it really depends. That's why this is something that you have to talk about before you get married, because a lot of people don't agree with that. A lot of people feel like they should either have separate bank accounts or just all together have a joint account. So that's something that it would have to be between you and your spouse and that you're comfortable with. Not nothing that I'm telling you, but if you're asking me my synopsis about it or my opinion about it, that's what I think. And yeah, and you shouldn't hide anything. And if you want to talk about it, you should be able to talk about it, because then that's going to go into the trust factor. Because if you don't talk about it and your spouse, be it the man, be it the woman, want to know, and you're not being truthful about it, then you're going to start having trust issues. So yes, I think you should talk about it.
Okay, yes, that's awesome. Great points there. So you communication here again, you want to make sure you talk about it so both of you are on the same page. Okay, so that was number 8, right?
Number 8.
Yeah, so we're now on number 9. Go ahead with number 9, Dr. Wilbon.
Okay, and this is very, very important, before you're going into a marriage, and even when you're in a marriage. When you have problems and you're going through a whole lot, learn how to forgive. Learn how to forgive. That's the hardest thing for anybody to do in this world. And, they say they do, but, they don't forget. They'll be like, okay, yeah, I forgive you. And then whenever something comes up and they get mad, they bring it right back up. So my thing is, you're not forgiving them if you're going to keep talking about the same thing that they did a long time ago. You bring it right back up when there's a problem. So learn how to forgive. And when you learn how to forgive, try not to, dwell on what happened in the past. Now, if this person is, keeps doing the same old thing over and over and over, the same thing, then, by all means, it's okay. But if they're not doing that, then leave it alone. But learn how to forgive, because if you learn how to forgive, you can move on. You can definitely move on if you learn how to forgive. You don't forgive, you're not going to be able to move on. So that's a big thing. Learn how to forgive when there's a problem between you two in the marriage.
Okay, so you want to learn how to forgive. That's very important. I think we have another question in the chat.
Okay.
Let me. I probably overlooked that one. Yeah, I think I overlooked that question. I don't see that question in the chat, but that's important. Number 9, you want to learn how to learn how to forgive, and make sure you forgive and forget.
Yes.
Don't forgive and then you would bring it up again. So you want to forgive and forget.
That'll kill a marriage.
Yes, that will. Unique Couples Community, if you have any questions, you want to go ahead and put it in the chat. You want to also put your takeaways in the chat as well. We are about to wrap up this conversation here this evening with Dr. Wilbon. And let's go into number 10, Dr. Wilbon. Let us know number 10.
All right, and this is the final one, and this is number 10. And I mean this from the heart. Have fun. have fun with this, because this is, this is supposed to be a lifetime commitment. And, being married is great. Being married is great. It's what you make it. It's what you make it. And it can be fun, so that's the mindset you have to have when you go into it. I'm going to have fun with this, because, I had my days when I was single and I was out dating and I was doing this and doing that. Now I got this significant other that I'm going to be with. I'm going to have fun with that person. So I'm going to make this marriage fun. And just because you're getting married, it's not a death sentence. A lot of people think that, especially guys. Man, I ain't trying to get married, man, because that's just like putting handcuffs on me. You know what I'm saying? That's what they be saying, But, if you got a good woman and, your woman is down for you and she's ride or die, man, have fun. So and that's important. Have fun in your marriage, because once you get married, you may have kids, you may, have a family. And once you have that family, it's a beautiful thing. And, and doing a whole lot of things and traveling and, all the holidays, come together with your family. It's a beautiful thing. You can have fun with it. But just know that, marriage is not a death sentence. Marriage is not for everybody. But my thing is, if you are in it, do what you can to try to preserve it and work hard at it and just have fun.
Okay. Yeah. So number 10, you want to have fun. That's very important. You have to have fun, so let's make sure you have fun in your marriage. It cannot just be go to work every day, come home, cook, go to sleep. You gotta have some kind of fun.
That's right.
That's important.
Right. Do the things you did to get the person that you got.
Yes.
Go back to it. Don't veer away from that. And that's what a lot of couples do. They don't have date night. They don't go out. They don't do anything anymore. They get to the point, they get complacent. Oh, I got the woman I got. Oh, I got the man I got. I'm good. No, it's not good. Do some things to keep that fire burning and to make sure that, you're having fun. And you'll see that, it's not as bad as a lot of people think. The ones that have not been married are the ones that don't know. They'll be the first one to tell you, man, I ain't getting married, man. Forget that. I ain't going. But they don't know. They haven't been married. So how would they know if it's going to be fun or not? So,
exactly.
Like I say, marriage is not for everybody, but for the ones that are doing it and they're going into it, go into it with a positive mindset and just know that it's going to be work, but it can be fun. So basically, that's it.
Okay. We have another question in the chat. What if your partner does something that you feel you can't forgive as long as you stay with them?
My thing is this, and then this is going to come back to the part of the trust factor. I didn't mention this in my 10, but it's important, know about religion, know about if your spouse or your mate, what their religion is, because a lot of times, that plays a big factor in a marriage. And my thing is, you can always forgive somebody for something. And it really depends on what it is. If it's a life or death thing, then no. But if it's something that you feel that you'll never be able to get over, then, you have to question yourself to see, is it worth it to stay? Is it worth it to try to forgive them? Because there are some things in a marriage that you can't forgive. It's hard to do that. And no one really expects you to be able to do that. So it really depends on what they did. So that's my answer. It depends on what they did, because everybody has their breaking point and they have their own, judgment of what they can forgive and what they can't forgive. So it really depends on what it is.
Okay. Thank you for that. And then we have another one. How important is pre-marriage counseling?
I think pre-marriage counseling is great, and I think it's something that should be done. And because that will still give you a pretty much like a checklist that you can go over and something that you can discuss amongst each other that you may have missed talking to each other. But then when you get that counseling, they may bring something out that you did not know about. So it's really very important to do pre-counseling. I think that's a good thing to do.
Okay. Yes. I feel the same way. That counseling before marriage, that's very important, because like you say, that's a checklist and you can talk about a lot of things, before the marriage. So that's very important.
And it makes a I didn't mean to cut you off, but it makes a difference because I'm gonna tell you why. If you do that pre-marriage counseling, they may come up with something that may not make you go forward with it. They may tell you, you know what? Hey, I ain't think about this. So that's something that, that needs to be said and needs to be addressed, but it's not nothing to be scared of. My thing is, I think it's a positive thing to go to pre-counseling because it gets you ready. It sets you for that tone. It gets you ready to step into matrimony. So I'm not saying it's a negative thing, but it will bring up points that you two may not have thought about. So I think it's great to go to a pre-marriage counselor.
All right. Okay. So to folks, this evening we have Dr. Kevin Wilbon from Washington, D.C., who would have shared with us 10 things you should have known before marriage. And we had a fun time with him this evening. And I'm just going to go over those 10. So number 1, he talked about being friends first, know your mate. Number 2, he mentioned don't fall in love with looks. Beauty is on the inside, not on the outside. Number 3, he talked about knowing your mate's family. Number 4, he mentioned marriage requires work. Number 5, relationship is a commitment. That's that's true. Relationship, your marriage, it's a commitment. And then number 6, talk about your goals. And this is where we talked about finances. Number 7 was observe your mate's spending habit. Yes, you want to make sure you observe your mate's spending habit. Number 8 was don't compare your marriage with others. Number 8 was don't compare your marriage with others. And then number 9, I lost track of that. What number 9?
Learn how to forgive.
Okay, yes. Learn how to forgive was number 9. And then number 10 was fun. And I just love number 10. Number 10 is fun. And you even went into details with that. And you talked about making sure that you go on date nights. And here again, I'm going to talk about the Unique Couples Marriage Club, because in the Marriage Club, we talk about date nights. Date nights is very important. And if you are part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club, next week, Monday, October the 25th, is going to be date night. So you want to make sure you are a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club, and you want to make sure that you continue dating your spouse. That's very important. Continue dating your spouse. So Dr. Wilbon, go ahead and tell our viewing audience how they can connect with you.
Okay, you can connect with me. Go to www.motivatetoeducateyou.com. Again, that's www.motivatetoeducateyou.com. And you can reach me at Dr. Kevin Wilbon, the number 5 at gmail.com. Again, that's Dr. Kevin Wilbon 5 at gmail.com. If you got any questions or anything that you want to text me or anything like that, I'll be more than happy, to respond to anything that you have. And also make sure you go to Dr. Kevin Wilbon Sr. on YouTube and subscribe. Please subscribe to me at Dr. Kevin Wilbon Sr. on YouTube.
Okay, there you have it, folks. You can connect with Coach Dr. Kevin Wilbon Sr. and you can connect with him on the different social media platforms that he will mention, his email address. He will talk about the website, and he will talk about YouTube. So you can connect with him. The comments are coming in. Dr. Wilbon saying blessings to Dr. Wilbon. Excellent. This is great information. Dr. Kevin Wilbon and Unique Couples really enjoyed this. Very informative. So the folks really enjoyed what they would have seen here today, Dr. Wilbon. And once again, we just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule so you can be with us this evening. We had fun sharing with the Unique Couples community 10 things you should have known before marriage. So we had fun sharing with you. Just before, Go ahead, Dr. Wilbon.
Thanks for having me. I mean, I had a good time. I've learned a lot as well. And, this is a great platform that you have, and keep doing it. And, and I hope you get 1 million subscribers on this, because this is something that people should be watching, and they should be, tuning into, because you can get a lot of informative information, especially about being married and, and being a couple. And again, like I said, thanks for having me, and anytime I can come back, just let me know.
Okay, will do. Will do. We want to thank you once again, and we want to thank our viewing audience for tuning in with us this evening. And you want to make sure you subscribe to our Unique Couples YouTube channel. Turn on that notification bell and make sure you select all. So every time we go live here at Unique Couples, you would be notified. And also you want to join the Unique Couples Marriage Club. We love to say that you're going to get your spouseology degree when you are part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Motivation, inspiration, and transformation. This is where you take your marriage to another level in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Tomorrow night, you want to make sure you join us in the How to Strengthen Your Marriage Facebook private group at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Sip and Spill. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. And then on Wednesday, you want to come back at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Unique Couples After Dark. Every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Unique Couples After Dark. So you want to make sure that you are back here next week, Sunday, for Unique Couples Sunday Night Live. We're going to have special guests next week, Kena McCartney and Jacqueline Gardner. They're going to talk about, are you overinsured or underinsured? So we're going to be talking about that next week. So you want to make sure that you are back here, same time, same place, next week, Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had fun sharing with you here at Unique Couples. We are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. We'll see you on Wednesday, and we'll see you next week, Sunday. Have a great week. See you later. Bye.